Thank you, Rosanna. So I'm Monica Galavis. I'm going to go over the second half of our adaptations presentation on on the issue of working with homeless students. So what can we do as teachers? So when teaching about homelessness, we need to help children make sense of the economic injustices in the world, and we need to help them form thoughtful opinions about what the world that they live in. We need to give students a knowledge base to make a change and break the pattern of homelessness. Many of these students were kind of born into that cycle, and we need to teach them the knowledge and make them aware so that they can um, take advantage of all the resources they have and better their situation. So it's all about empowering the students. We need to identify stereotypes and dispel misconceptions about homelessness. A lot of students don't know about homelessness and they might have these misconceptions, and we need to dispel or break those misconceptions so that all of the students in their class are understanding. Uh, we need to reinforce the value and importance of critical thinking. So we've heard a lot of talk about teaching 21st century skills, and one of those skills is critical thinking. We need to sensitize students to be more accepting of students who may be without a home. So like I mentioned above, a lot of students aren't homeless, but we need to teach all students to be accepting of all situations. We need to prepare students to deal with important social issues instead of sheltering them from the dilemmas they may face as members of society uh, when they're a little older. So some of these students are quite mature for their age already because they're dealing with issues that most children don't have to deal with. So it's important to let them understand or make them understand that it's okay, and that they aren't outcasts, and we need to make them feel welcomed in the classroom and teach them about these issues so that they have a better understanding, and in the future they're able to face them with much more ease. So other adaptations are to provide achievable expectations and goals for the students. As teachers, we will always want to hold our or set high standards for our students, but we need to make sure that they are attainable. And if we're going to hold high standards for our students, we also need to teach them the skills so that they're able to achieve those standards. We might want to provide tutoring for the students, either after school or before school. We need to be flexible with assignments since projects may require materials that students can't afford. We either need to offer those materials or make it so that they don't really need too many materials to complete their assignments. We need to be warm demanders by expecting a great deal of our students. We need to let them know and understand that they are brilliant individuals, and teach them those skills to help them reach their potential while being disciplined and structured in the classroom. So we also need to set routines and be consistent. A lot of these students kind of live in chaotic environments, and they strive or they yearn for that consistency and that stability. So when we set routines and we're consistent in the classroom, it's what an environment that they want to be in. It's an environment that's conducive to learning. Some other adaptations are to keep some snacks in the classroom. Sometimes these students don't have enough time, or their parents don't have the resources to provide them with breakfast. If your school offers free or reduced breakfast in the morning, educate the parents on that so that they can bring their children early and they could take advantage of that resource. If not, having snacks in the classroom is a good idea. Provide sufficient time to complete assignments in class. I know that some students take a little bit longer to complete assignments, but if you provide a sufficient amount of time, then these students don't have to worry about trying to complete those assignments at home, since they don't have a place at home where they are able to work on that or wherever they're going to be staying that night. We don't want these children to have to find a place to get that done and possibly even lose their assignments if they're moving around. So providing sufficient time in class to complete assignments is important. If students are new to the school, you would like to pair them with a buddy, or it would be a good idea to pair them with a buddy that can show them around and make them feel welcomed. Have an up-to-date list of resources to provide to parents who may be struggling. There is a resource called 211. It's an information referral resource, and there's one in every county throughout the United States. They provide a list of resources, so if you call them or if you go onto their website, you can find information on food pantries or shelters or places where parents can go and get clothing or free school supplies. So lots of good resources. Printing out a list and having that handy to provide to parents who may express to you that they're struggling might be a good idea. And also, open the class door early on certain days. Inform your students that you'll be there early on, say either 1 or 2 days a week, and just keep that consistent routine. So if you allow students to come in early, some students might want to take advantage of that, and they're able to settle in and decompress before the school day begins. We don't know what their situations are like at home, so sometimes just being in a quiet classroom before the school day begins might be just what these students need. Some of the references are listed here. There are some good strategies that I used that are found in the book by Harriet D. Porton, Teaching the Standards. There are lots of other education books that talk about classroom management and how to create a welcoming, warm environment. So there are lots of different resources to help teachers that might need more information on how to work and assist students who may be without a home. Thank you so much for watching this presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it.